get to our last segment because we're all caught up with the super chats and whatnot. You
Okay.
hear about the fact that the Grammys have rolled out their nominees? Are you excited about that?
I never am. It's no different.
All right, well, this is what happened.
Get off my lawn.
Kendrick Lamar is the most nominated male artist at the Grammys with 8 nominations, and Beyonce is the most nominated female artist with 9 nominations. What say
So the
you
people
about
out here making
this?
mid. So people out here making mid get nominated the most is what you just told me.
It seems like, and I say this respectfully because I'm a fan of both of these artists. It seems like these artists just had to put out an album and they got nominations.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I just heard.
They're nominating people and not the music. Sounds like that's what it
They're
looks
like, we
like to
like
me.
to thank you both. We like to thank you both for coming back off hiatus.
Yeah,
Take these Grammy nods.
lackluster
Didn't you tell me
efforts
that the
too.
Heart Part 5 got nominated like 3 times or something?
I think so. Hold on, let me see. I think the Heart Part
People don't
Five.
stop. Like Mike, we've already had a crack cocaine epidemic. Are people back on crack again? It's like we can't just like do cocaine and like can these Hollywood people like not just do cocaine? Are they back on crack?
Well, here's the
Crack
category
does
you're
different
talking
things than
about.
cocaine does.
Best rap song nominees are Churchill Down, Jack Harlow featuring Drake, God Did, DJ Khaled featuring Rick Ross, Lil Wayne, Jay Z, John Legend, and Friday. The Heart Part 5, Kendrick Lamar. Pushin' P, Gunna Future, and Young Thug. And Wait For You, Future featuring Drake and Tim. Who do you think is going to win that?
The only good song on there is Pushin' P, so Pushin' P should win.
I hope
And
Pushin'
Gunna
P's
and
win.
Free Thug, so we don't have agents working with Drake again.
You know what? I like the Future song, but I don't feel like that's a rap song, really. You
I don't feel
know?
like any of those songs are good except for Pushin' P. I'm gonna pick the good song.
I think that the Future song is good. You don't like Wait For You? Wait For You's dope. I mean, it plays on the radio all the time, but I don't think it's a rap song like that. Pushin' P is the only rap song that I think deserves it. I know a lot of people are gonna say God Did, but I feel like God Did had a hot week and just kind of went away. Churchill Down, I'm gonna get on my Jack Harlow statements in a minute, but that got no play. And the Heart Part 5 was hot for like 2 days, guys. And so
You know what
so
the
we're
best part
left
about
with
the best part about the Heart Part 5 is?
what's that?
It didn't get watered down in the midst of all that other mid on his album. At least it got to separate itself and get some shine. Because
Yeah.
the rest of it's some mid. And it's not Grammy worthy, Mike. That song's not like that, Mike.
Well, the
It's
thing
not.
is, for
These
them
records
to
are like that.
for them to actually take the Heart Part 5 and nominate it a few times,
You know, it's not good.
that lets you know how weak the album is.
But you know the album's not
I
good.
hate to say it like that, but
It's not good. Why are people like keep running for it or ducking from it? Like Kendrick ain't about to like pop up and bang on us for saying it. He know it's not good too, or he wouldn't be talking about making another album so fast for the first time in his goddamn career. He knows it's not good too.
I think this further validates the things that you've been saying about this album, since it pretty much came out.
Good.
He puts out it's the Heart Part 5, so he puts out a heart every time. They have never been nominated for Grammys. And it's not like this one is just much better than the rest of them or whatever. It lasted for like a couple of days. And they couldn't find anything to justifiably. The only other song they could have justifiably put out there was the song with Kodak. And they don't want to give Kodak no Grammys. They don't. They don't want to give Kodak no Grammys. Ain't no telling what Kodak can say up there.
No, when you talk about an album,
And
you
shout
have
out to
talk
Kodak, too, for standing up for Nas against this nonsense.
Yeah, I saw that. I told you we like Kodak. We fuck with Kodak. Kodak, another one of them young dudes that I like, that I support. Look here. When we have to talk about how good the visual aid is, Mike, or how great the writing is, what do I keep on saying? People just don't listen. It's like, no, when you have to use those things to describe music, that means the music isn't there. Well, he debuted at #1. Did you see the video? It's like, yeah, I saw the video. Did you hear the song?
We getting some thumbs down. They hate when we talk about Kendrick.
Don't
Marquez
nobody
Davis.
care. You want to know what? I give that album some thumbs down. It won't be making no top 10. Mike, right now, when I look at our albums of the year, Don't be expecting to see no Kendrick on the list. That shit is not good.
For the Kendrick fans out there, do y'all really feel like he deserved 8 nominations at any award show? Forget the Grammys. And let's just be real, guys. The Grammys is really on some crossover, watered down music stuff. Do you think any of the material on this album fits the decorum for what you're used to seeing at this award show to be nominated 8 times?
Look here. I'm going to tell you what. Mike, when I first started talking to the plug 6 weeks ago, she told me the Grammys was going to be fucked up for real music.
Marquez Davis with the super chat says they take all the average Metacritics. They take all the averages in Metacritic. Nas has 6 reviews so far, hundreds, 93 overall. Like an 8th highest rap album. Let's see. Rigger 49er says I know people in the hood still listen to Pac more than Snoop. I agree with that. A lot of people, a lot of people I know don't mess with Snoop. Pac's movies, music, more talented, more fame. Okay.
Like, how about this?
I'm with that. I'm okay with that.
Funny. Like, I'm not being funny, Mike. Like, Steph Curry's a better player than Dame Lillard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but in the neighborhood, Mike. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm saying. In the neighborhood, that play is different. You feel what I'm saying?
No, I feel you. Jay Short with the super chat says, when you mention 2 Live Crew as an influence, we know you faking and pandering. They were a novelty act. Heads wasn't checking for them like that. 2 Live Crew is an interesting situation, man. When people talk about the greatest rap groups of all time, it's like, how do I and how can I rate them? You know, because it's not like they rapped. It's more of an impact conversation, and it's all based on impact for the most part.
Did they make 3 albums?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think they only made 2, Mike. You got to at least make 3 to get in the convo, and then 3 ain't gonna hold you long in the convo.
Because it's like, do you want to put 2 Live Crew over Goody Mob or something? Because it just doesn't feel right to do stuff like that.
I'll say that. See, and now we have to be mindful. It's like, well, if we want to put 2 Live Crew up high, what type of messages are we sending when there is a Goody Mob that made something socially impactful?
Or a Brand Nubian. Do you want to put 2 Live Crew over Brand Nubian? Like,
no, I do not.
It just doesn't feel right.
Well, they're not better than Brand Nubian either.
No.
I'm not a big Puba fan, and I'll say that. But Sadat X, Lord Jamar, Puba, I don't know. That's nice.
Puba's crazy with it. Matt Max with the super chat says, Whack Harlow being nominated is wild, and K-Dot Rich Spirit video, he needs to learn how to dance. He is embarrassing with the moves. Did you see the video he put out?
Yeah, I saw it.
Nothing to talk about?
I mean, it's late. The song's not good. The album's not good. I'm tired of people trying to force this album on me and tell me that it's good. Every time I ask, like, how about this? The plug told me something about Nas. Nas will ask you, like, if you roll up on Nas, like, as a fan, and, like, ask Nas, you know what I'm saying? Be like, what did I say to make you a fan that impacted you or affected you? Mm-hmm. Like, Nas will ask you that. I'm going to ask that question to all people supporting Kendrick on this level. What has he said on this album that's really impacted or affected you and what's going on with you like that? Like, it's very blatant and obvious to me how he's been impacted and affected. Like, a nigga that has money to pay for therapy sessions every day of the week decided to have a therapy session with us on a whole album. That's fine. That's your prerogative. Kudos to you for getting all of your demons out. What does that do for you as the listener? Like, what did he really just do with this album, Mike? Like, seriously. Like, because I don't have to sit up there and get all big, bold, and boisterous or even use big words. Like, what did he really do with this album? Where did he take our culture? Where did he take you? What journey is he going on where you're experiencing with him and you're saying, like, damn, I can relate? Because Tupac does that. DMX does that. Scarface does that. Nas does that. Like, don't tell me that this guy just did that on this album when I can show you albums from artists who actually really did it and gave you a quality product that you could replay. Now get a grip and stop telling me that this album is good. It's not.
Well, Charlamagne the God said it's the most important hip-hop album of all time. So,
Mike, isn't that the same nigga that said he would sell his soul, though?
No, the direct quote is, back in the day, before the Breakfast Club became syndicated in every household, a household name, for lack of a better term. He used to always say on air, "I can't wait to sell out because that means somebody bought in." That's what he used to say.
So he sold his soul. Like I said, you can try to frame it nicely for him if you want to.
I just want to get the direct quote. I want to get the direct quote.
No. Now that we got to the direct quote, let's get the Coop's interpretation. You'll sell your soul, so I can't trust you.
Jay Short, the super chat says,
I trust a man that'll tell you that he'll sell his soul, Mike, not when I can't be bought.
Say, I can't wait to sell out because that means someone bought in. I'm sure people out there who've been watching The Breakfast Club forever remember him saying that too. I'm not the only one that heard that.
Like you can buy things that I offer, Mike, but you can't buy me. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He talking about being bought like he on an auction block. I can't wait because that means you.
That means somebody bought in.
You happy to get up there and show Massa how big and strong and strapping your back is? Now, isn't you?
Jay Short with the super chat says, "Is Mary J. Blige the Nas of R&B? Beyonce stealing awards?" That's an interesting statement. I could see that. I think that we take Mary for granted. I think we take Mary's longevity and, just overall impact for granted sometimes because she's always been here. We never really had to be on a Mary break.
Might be some evidence. We might need to pull up and check up on that, Mike. Might be some evidence there.
Yeah, Mary's catalog is
something
crazy.
In fairness, though.
Do you think that Beyonce would beat Mary J. Blige in the verses? Because I don't think so.
Oh, no. Listen to what I'm telling you. I was about to say, Mary's first 4 albums is like better than everything Beyonce did, in my opinion. But first 4.
Do you think Mary would beat Mariah in the verses?
She tapped that ass, Mike.
That's saying a lot. Mariah's an icon, and she got iconic music.
And I love Mariah.
I think Mary's music hits people.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. She tapped that ass.
Yeah.
Because you be feeling some type of way. It's like Mariah gonna play "Shake It Off." Mary's playing "I'm Going Down."
And not
the same.
Yeah, it's not the same.
Not the same. You're gonna get that ass tapped.
Yeah, My Life.
Right.
And then she could hit you with the Real Love. She could hit you with Reminisce. She could hit you with, she got a catalog.
Yeah. Everything. Not Gonna Cry.
Yeah.
I Love You.
Yeah.
The first single off the 3rd album with Nas, Love Is All We Need.
Love Is All We Need is awesome. I was just listening to that yesterday. Yeah.
All That I Can Say.
Mm-hmm. I love All That I Can Say. Yeah.
Deep Inside. Yeah. Beautiful Ones. Sexy with Jada Kiss. Right, Mike, you want me to keep going?
She got a catalog.
Be Happy.
Yep.
Love Ain't Got No Limit.
Yeah.
I Want to Do Anything with KC. Right.
Yeah.
Right. No Beyonce don't want that smoke. No Mariah don't want that smoke.
I think you're right. Michael Williams with the super chat says,
I want that smoke.
WTF SMH brought a tear to my eye. The beat switch, the message, and why you ain't proud of Nas line is so deep. Jansport J produced the second half. He said Jansport J produced the second half. That's what's up.
Okay. There's some deep-rooted hatred going on. You get what I'm saying? Like there's something wrong with us that this man receives this level of hate and vitriol. You get what I'm saying?
I think there's something wrong with us, even the fact that whenever he does anything good, Jay-Z's name just gets brought in. Like, people act like Jay-Z put out an album this year or something. That would be fair.
Jay-Z put out an album the last 5 years.
Right.
People act like he's made a good album in the last 10.
And even if people like 444 like that was 5 years ago, guys. If we want to put this in context, we got 4 albums, right?
Like we call Kendrick out? One album every 10 years, nigga, I can divide.
Right. Because over the same time frame, forget the same time frame, 4 albums in 2.5 years. How long has it been since Jay put out 4 albums? We would have to go 444, and I ain't talking about the group album with him and Beyonce. 444, Magna Carta, yeah, Holy Grail. Then you go back to Blueprint 3, and then you go back to American Gangster. So 4 albums for Jay, that's 2007. So we're talking about 15 years. Versus 2.5 years, and we're acting like this is the same thing. It's not. It's not.
Even if you inserted the Beyonce project and the Ye project, that's still 6 and 15, Mike. Think about it. It's still 6 and 15.
It just is what it is. You want to see what the album of the year nominees were?
Got a hot take. I missed it. Hold on. I think my guy Andrew just texted me.
You got a hot take. Okay.
Oh. He said Mary J versus Janet is the verses. I think he's right. Mary J versus Janet. That's a fight, Mike. There we go. That's a fight. Shout out to Andrew. First of all, this is why knowing good music doesn't know a color. He's right.
Give me Janet in that one. I'll say that confidently.
I'd probably take Janet too, but don't give me Mariah. If you take Mariah or Beyonce, and I take Mary, you about to have a long night.
But the fact that
have a very long night. Long night.
But the fact that it's thought that Janet is Mary's matchup is saying a lot of high marks on Mary's end. I would say that.
But he's right. Musically, who else is fucking with Mary? Except for Janet.
It's very tough. It's very tough.
Think about it. We didn't even bring up the Dr. Dre joint, the Family Affair joint, Mike. Yeah. Mike, she got. You don't
we
want
didn't
that.
even bring up the Brian Michael Cox records.
Mike, you don't want that smoke, Mike. You don't.
Okay, so you got Pusha P.
I'm gonna get off of here, and like 5 of Beyonce's fans gonna be on my Twitter like, nigga, don't you ever. We know where you live, Coop, because that's how Beyonce's fans roll.
They ride. And let's just be perfectly honest. This Beyonce album, I love Beyonce. She's one of our icons. I think the best performer of her era. This album doesn't deserve 9 nominations, man. It just doesn't.
Mike, nobody even talks on the talk.
Ain't nobody talking about this album. Are people even asking for a tour? This is Beyonce, man. Like, this is my thing, man. And I was talking with one of my guys about this earlier. When we look back on it in history, these 9 nominations are going to credentialize this album and kind of give us a false sense of where the album really was. Michael Jackson's Invincible had Rock My World, had Butterflies on it, and they Break of Dawn. They considered that a drop off or whatever. But did they even nominate Michael for anything on Invincible?
Invincible.
I don't think so.
How about this?
9?
If Invincible were to come out today, Mike, people would call it a classic.
This album is nowhere near Invincible. I'm just going to say that.
There's
9 nominations.
Heaven Can Wait on that motherfucker. Now, is there? Break of Dawn, Mike? Yeah. I still play those records. Like, to this day, I play Break of Dawn. Yeah. And Butterflies and Heaven Can Wait. And Rock. Those are beautiful records.
Yeah.
That's the last MJ run to me. I was like, that's my guy right there. I was like, that's that dude. You still cannot fuck with that guy when he's on. Beyonce ain't got no shit like that, Mike.
Nah, her album, I mean, I say this respectfully.
Like, respectfully.
I would say this. I would say maybe 3 nominations or whatever. I could see that. But
where's
9? 9?
Where's the Butterflies record at? Like, where's that record where it's like, that shit is beautiful?
The only song on that album that's kind of catching is that Cuff It. And that's because, they kind of have some manufactured challenges going around on that. And I'm just being real. I'm not trying to be disrespectful or nothing like that. But, I mean, Michelle Obama posted out the first single and all of that stuff, and it still didn't really catch. I mean,
it's bad when the Obamas get behind your ass and they don't move in the black community.
That's kind of been...
In case of emergency, calling Obama.
I mean, that's kind of been happening for politicians all across the nation. But, that's a whole other discussion.
No. It's not attached to him. It's attached to somebody else. It's very problematic how it's unfolding.
That used to be an automatic win whenever he came out.
I don't belong to anybody. I really don't give a fuck no more. All right?
That used to be an automatic win whenever he came out. They don't do that anymore.
Get like me. You can be independent. Black people don't belong to the Democratic Party. Democratic Party loves you about as much as the Republican Party does. All these motherfuckers, sorry. Independent.
Let's go to that best rap album, though. Here's the category for that. So the Grammys nominated DJ Khaled, God Did. Then you got Future, I Never Liked You. Then you got Jack Harlow, Come Home, The Kids Miss You. Then you got Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, Kendrick Lamar. You got It's Almost Dry, Pusha T. Now, I think that here on this podcast, we would probably say Pusha T should be the one to win that one, but...
What's the good album on there, Mike?
He's not going to win. I love Pusha T. And see, this is the thing. And I know he's very proud of his nomination, as he should be. But You have a hardcore rap album, which is, out of all of those, by far the best one there, but it doesn't fit with the mainstream narrative like the other nominees do. I just don't see it winning. Now, if they shock me with anything, it would be Pusha T winning that. And I hope that happens, but I don't
I
see
do
that
too.
happening. I think Kendrick's going to win that. Who do you think's going to win that? Think they're going to give it to Harlow?
I don't know. It's just the taste in my mouth, right? It's all the mid. It's all the mid, and I just want to wash it clean and just like forget to even put all these albums out. These are our album of the year candidates. Like Mike, I want you to understand the only album on that you just named that's even making our top 20 list is Pusha Shit, and Pusha Shit not making our top 5 at this rate.
Mr.
'Cause that
Morale's
shit
not
ain't
making the top 20?
Huh?
Mr. Morale's not making the top 20?
KD 3, Soul separately, Till It's Almost Dry. No One Mourns the Wicked. Food for Thought. Hitler Wears Hermes 10. The Liz 2. No Fear of Time. Cheat Code.
Ghetto
keep going.
Gods. Ghetto
Feel
Gods.
what I'm saying? No, the fuck it's not. Because
Ghetto
it's not good.
Gods. You got
It's not good.
Ghetto Gods, JID's album.
God Don't Make Mistakes. Tana Talk 4. Want me to keep going? No, it's not. No, that fucking mid ain't making no top 20. So I don't care if the nigga walk out with 8 Grammys. Around here, the nigga ain't walking out with shit because the album ain't good. And unlike the Grammys, this is real hip hop. So tell that nigga whenever he wants to pull back up with his real constituency and get off these sorry niggas' dicks and get back to making rap music.
Well, what stood out to me was the fact that Jack Harlow's Come Home, The Kids Miss You.
Tired of this corny shit, Mike. I'm so tired of this corny shit. And niggas playing like the corny shit is good. This shit corny. It ain't good.
Well, with the Jack Harlow album, right?
That shit definitely corny and not good.
Nobody has said it's good. It didn't get good reviews. It actually streamed, the numbers, like the number projections actually were 100,000 less than what was projected. So the actual first week sales ended up being 100,000 less than what was projected. Terrible reviews. The people online really ain't rocking with it. And it's like, how is this even nominated? I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just being real. It's like, no one's saying that this is good. No one's saying that this is a good rap album. And I think anybody who might be saying glowing things about it as an album aren't saying it in a rap tense. No one is saying that this is a good album.
Let me ask you a real question, Mike. You remember the Dizza Full Court Press?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy that more than Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers?
I did, personally. But I can't. It's hard for me to say that it's better. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Jermaine Johnson with the super chat says, I have to admit, Father Time made me cry the first 3 times that I listened to it. No other rap song / album does that to me. For me, that album is way more than beats and rhymes. That's fair.
What song you talking about?
Father Time.
What song is that?
You know, come on, man. Come on. You know what Father Time is. The record that's about, his father and, you know what I'm saying, and spending time with his father and what he wants to be for his kids and all that. It's like right before the record where he's going back and forth with his chick.
Okay, sorry, it's been a long time since I listened to that, man, because it's not good.
Say what the super chat says. I think Nas.
So I don't know. I don't listen to shit that's not good.
Say says, I think Nas needs a Black Thought flex moment just to remind the peons who Nas is. Tired of being humble, and he needs to shoot the legit vid. Yeah, I would like to see a legit video. I don't think you're ever really going to get Nas to go out there and freestyle. He never really was, big on doing that, even like in the younger parts of his career.
No, Mike, he used to make the rounds sharper than termite teeth.
I would love to hear it. I would love to hear it. I hope he does it. Jay Short with the super chat says that Nas and Mary toured together. Do you think Nas and Mary or any other R&B artist can make a successful collaborative album?
Egos usually keep that from happening, so I'm going to say no. Every time male groups get together and try to do it, like LSG, Remember when Tyrese and Genuine and Tank got together? It never works. It's just egos. Niggas is used to being solo. It's nothing personal. It's just,
Well, it's hard for solo artists to jump into a group setting. It just is.
LeBron and D Wade. It took them a year to figure it out.
Yeah,
and they're top 25 players, and that's what I'm saying. It's like you can have the best talent, but when one nigga used to run in the show, think about it, they brought in 3 guys. They brought in 2 guys. All 3 of the guys is used to running the show. That takes time.
Yeah,
you got to be patient. Respect the process.
Our Legacy with Super Chat says, love what you guys do. You not only report on the culture, you are hip hop culture. Introspective thoughts, thought-provoking lyrics is why I love Pac and Nas. And this Nas album did not disappoint. Appreciate the love, and definitely, I agree with that.
He's closer to Pac in the comparisons and in the comparative notes than he is to Big and J. Nas gets compared to Big and J because that's Brooklyn and Queens. His comp is Pac more than J.
I noticed that J. Cole's more. I mean, they've been saying this since the beginning, but J. Cole's very Nas-like.
Mm-hmm.
He is.
Straight off the tree.
Yeah. Michael Williams with the Super Chat says, I love how Nas laughs at the start of Michael and Quincy after rehearsing the first line. He laughs because he knows that he's about to do it absurd. Yeah. What he's about to do is absurd. Yeah. I think
Shimon.
I would like to see a video for that too.
That'd be pretty action-packed.
Yeah.
I just like the way that he used all the mic references at the end, but he didn't force it. Like it came naturally. Like you could tell he pieced it together naturally. I'm like, yeah.
Lex Diesel says, no black person should be checking for the Grammys at this point. They've been a joke, and the Nas shade is blatant. Nas just performed on their show, too. And so the fact that Magic gets no consideration for anything, I think is a little weird. And I know Magic has its own tone and its own sound, but is it far-fetched to say Magic should be nominated for Rap Album of the Year over the Jack Harlow album or the DJ Khaled album? I mean, the man just performed at your award show just a couple months ago.
I mean, and it's Magic,
No, I mean, like, outside of that, let's just go on the political spectrum. He's not.
We can think about the music too. That's what I'm saying.
I understand. I mean, we know this industry is about television.
No, I get where you're going with it. Go ahead.
But I'm just saying, if we take all of that out of it, because people will say, "Yo, we just being Nas stands or whatever," but the man just performed at your show.
Mm-hmm. You just gave him a Grammy too.
Yeah, you just gave him a Grammy last year, and so he performs and does a whole medley at your award ceremony.
Right.
You don't think that Magic should be in the category over the Jack Harlow album at least?
Okay, so
or you know what? Let's keep Jack. The DJ Khaled album.
No, I got plug talk for you again, Mike. Since you want to ask, the Grammys hit Nas back with some bullshit talking about Magic dropped too late because it was December, even though it was before the cutoff time. They be with that bullshit. They be on that bullshit. Right. They knew what they was doing. And Mike, I want to say something too. You were a little 50-50 about the Grammy performance because you were worried that the Grammys were using Nas to give them some credibility that they had lost.
And people trashed me for saying that too.
Trashed you, but now here we are. Is there any KD2 nominations? Any Magic nominations?
Exactly. That's exactly where I was coming from.
And that's exactly what you were talking about. You were talking about, are they going to continue to support this man and back him while he's giving them credibility in a time where they needed the credibility the most?
Exactly.
And they did the shit that you thought that they was going to do that made you concerned. So kudos to you for calling this out. What was that, earlier this year? Last year, Mike, that you did that? Is that last? I feel like that was
earlier this year because I think it was around March when they had the ceremony. And that's why I didn't, and people thought that my perspective on that was coming from the fact that I felt like Nas should be supporting the boycott that, I guess Ye was kind of boycotting. I forgot why. But no, that's not where I was coming from. I just felt like, because Kanye was supposed to be on that stage, and I forgot what happened where that didn't happen anymore, but I felt like they were using Nas in that situation, and I didn't like the way that looked, and I didn't think he was going to be appreciated for it, and here we are. Like, Magic nor KD2. He said Magic didn't hit the cutoff, but what about KD2? And so Yeah, it's hard for me to fathom that anybody feels like Jack Harlow's album deserves to be in this category.
Or the Khaled album. The Khaled album's not any good either, Mike.
Yeah, the Khaled album ain't really do nothing, man. It's just honestly, man, the Khaled album, and I'm
Khaled
not
might be Agent Zero, you know? He
right.
might be where all the agents get all their agent paperwork from. It's like you come in, you do a verse with Khaled, we give you your agent paperwork. You know you belong to the game now and not the
I've
streets anymore,
I've
nigga.
I've said this on this show before. I have no idea how and why these Khaled albums are even able to come together
Hey,
in the
you
way
want
that
to know
they
what?
do.
I want to
How
see
do they
check
make
stubs
money?
from where Khaled has paid people because he sure has paid. Like he's got to be spending a ton of money to pay
I
these
don't
artists for
understand.
their work.
I don't
I would love
understand.
to see some pay stubs,
Not
like
even
of what
just the
he's paying
artists.
artists to do this stuff. Like, cause like this many niggas can't love Khaled. It's like, what is he paying
Not even
niggas to
just
do these
that, Coop.
verses?
Not even just that. It'd be
Like
like high.
A Nas and a J verse should tap your budget out damn near.
It's high price samples and everything.
It's very
Big time
problematic.
producers. It's like
It's a paperwork episode, Mike. I'd
where
like to see
and
the paperwork
why.
on DJ Khaled's albums.
What's the budget for an album like this, and how does an album like this even make that back on any level? You know what I
And who
mean?
getting paid, Mike? Who getting paid? I want to know
I
who's
don't
getting paid.
understand. I really don't understand.
Mike, I mean, how much is?
The
I mean,
only thing I've deduced
I
it
got the
to.
keys. How much the Future make for I got the keys? I want Future to post a check out how much Khaled paid him for I got the keys with Jay.
The only thing that I can deduce. The only thing.
I want to see some paperwork, Mike. I want to see paperwork on everybody. Now I want paper trails. I want documentation. It's a lot of agent shit going on. A lot of niggas faking and flogging in the game today.
The only thing that I can deduce a Khaled project to is the fact that maybe the major labels use Khaled as a project to keep certain artists hot without them having to drop an album.
Are the
Now,
artists getting
that
paid?
did work with God did it
Is
not?
the artists getting paid?
Huh?
The artists getting paid.
I don't think so.
It's
I
very
would venture to
problematic.
say I don't think the artists get paid to be on a Khaled album.
That all sounds like agent work to me.
It's really weird, right? Godfather with a super chat says, "Yo, Nas gets Nas get 9 albums on iTunes. Yo, Nas get 9 albums on. I guess he said he got 9 albums on iTunes. Shoot, we about to roll out of here, man. This has been a great show, though. Intelligence is scary. Says Guru or Hit Boy, fellas. What do you mean? Hold on. Guru or Hit Boy?
Both.
I don't understand the question. Frank Wizard with the super chat says, Cole's from the Nas tree. He let Nas down, not Jay. Blue Collar Hustler
people were
says,
talking about a classic album with no help. Forest Hill Drive, 2014, J. Cole.
There you go. Blue Collar Hustler says, Hit Boy said the Magic wasn't submitted. Okay. But this is the thing, man. Submitted or not. Like, you know what I mean? Like, y'all know what the landscape is like out here. And, you know, I would be remiss if I didn't speak on this before we leave. The Grammys intentionally zeroed Nicki out. She got no nominations. You know, she was breaking up a big fuss about the fact they were trying to put her Super Freaky Girl song in the pop category and not the rap category. And they just didn't nominate her at all.
What they said, I gave you power, I made you buck wild. That's what they said. I gave you power, I made you buck wild.
I guess the thing is, man, like
me now.
At least, you know, I'm glad she got that MTV moment because, I mean, Nicki's put in the work. She deserves it. But, he's talking about Jay's producer, Guru. Guru's his engineer, so I'm definitely going to say Hit Boy. I thought he was talking about Gangstar Guru or something.
It's the only Guru I really know, Mike. I don't know the rapper.
Yeah, but I hate to say it like this, from a mainstream standpoint, I think Nicki just needs to pivot if she wants to continue to make music and make music for her fans. Pivot and just make music for your core that rocks with you. Like, the mainstream is, for lack of a better term, they have moved on from Nicki Minaj, unfortunately. And whether right or wrong, it's just the reality. You know, and I think that, not to say that she can't make music, because I think she can. She's great. You know, she's held it down for the past 10, 15 years on the mainstream level for women in rap. But She's got to pivot and do something different, and that different isn't going to be mainstream stuff because the mainstream seems to be officially out of the Nicki Minaj business. That's what I got from that. Hassan Sykes with the super chat says Jay is trying to be current. Is I got the keys. Nas is being current with 40 side and reminisce. Right. Melvin Wright with the super chat says, guys, Nas was nominated for KD2 when he performed at the Grammys. Okay. Was that okay? That makes sense.
Oh, you're right. I think we did talk about that. KD2 did get
nominated. So KD2 was nominated, and Magic wasn't nominated because it wasn't submitted. Okay.
But here's the thing about it. KD3 is not eligible for, this run, but is available for the next run, though.
Right. It should be. If it's submitted, right?
Right. We'll see what happens.
All right, man. Well, we got to get up out of here, man. It's been a great Wednesday show. We appreciate everybody's participation. I don't know what's really coming this Friday, but I'm sure we'll have something to talk about.
I know Conway is supposed to be coming soon because he talked about having the Nas feature, so I'm expecting to hear his album before the year is over. But, Mike, after this, officially probably going into yearbook mode because it is time.
It is time.
Mike, I got a couple things for the people before we go.
Okay.
I know those of you all who follow us know that, we do the top fives. I would like people to drop in the chat before we go what you think are some of the next top fives we could do or should do because we're going to record this weekend. Is it this weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah. This weekend we're going to record some top fives. I'd like to hear from the people what top fives you would like us to do. Mike and Ron, our video guy, and I usually come up with the list, but this is for the people and by the people, like we always said. And so I just want to open up the floor a little bit if y'all want to drop in the comments to see what we should do. I think some of what we thought about is probably going to be in line, and if it matches up, we will. But just want y'all's feedback and involvement in it. You know what I'm saying? Like always. And appreciate y'all for all the support and the love that y'all been giving us.
10,000 and beyond.
Mike, what are we doing on Patreon?
The next thing.
Are we doing the Pete Rock
I think we should. Yeah.
Eric Sermon thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Man says they blackballed Nicki after she went at Miley at MTV. I thought that was fake. Was that real? Okay. All right. Well, before we get out of here, man, go check out Sorcerer.z. He got their Nas tribute out there. And like I said, we got it in the community section. He's really showing love. It's crazy to see all these MCs really giving Nas that love for the KD3. The impact is what it is. I really don't care what the first week sales say on my end. I know his team does. But the impact is what it is. And you can't duplicate that. Can't manufacture that.
No, you can't. You know what the Grammys really just told Nicki? Don't be Eddie King trying to sing your way back in the group.
Yeah, but you know what? I'll take a positive from this because I think Nicki does have abilities, right? What Nicki needs to do is, and what she's been doing for too long is pandering or catering to an audience that really doesn't care about her like that. She needs to get back to the core. If you want to keep making some music, get back to the core, and you can make some music. We're going to fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? If you making stuff that connects, it connects. But as far as like you making the radio music, they done moved on to Lotto, and and a few others. I mean, it is what it is.
Where's she from? Right.
Yeah. All right, we're getting out of here, man. Appreciate y'all.
I'll make some playlists, y'all, too. I'm gonna make some playlists on Spotify. I'm working on it. I've been wall to wall with it. I ain't slept in about 3 weeks.
Are you jumping on Station Head at any point, or we can just
tonight?
At any point, like before Friday's show.
I'm gonna give you a heads up and map it out. I haven't even mapped that out yet. I might. If I do, it's probably gonna be a pull up tomorrow night.
We'll tweet it out. Follow us on Twitter too. You know what I'm saying? A2HH the game on Twitter, and you'll be updated on everything that we doing. We're gonna holler at y'all. Great shit.
Right.